Yo, what's good, guys? Mark coming through to you from the Nintendo Network, and man, oh man, I have to say this again. It's been a minute. It really has been a minute. I've not uploaded in a while. It's been a few weeks since I dropped my last video, and yeah, I know I said I was gonna upload frequently. I don't know what happened with that. I dropped 2 videos and dipped, but hey, I'm back now. I'm actually back for real now. But as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail of this video, it's gonna be another video about RELL. And I'm sure that a lot of you can tell a lot has changed about this game. I'm talking so much has changed about this game that the previous 2 videos I've made, majority of the stuff I said in them is invalid now. So a lot has happened whilst I've been gone, and I'm just gonna be catching you all up. I'm gonna be keeping everyone in the loop from here on, and yeah. So essentially, the first thing I want to cover in this video is the way that testing, CC, all of that stuff works. All the stuff that lets you get your hands on the game a bit earlier. Because a lot of it has changed since my last video where I spoke about CC and getting tester. Because it really has changed a lot, it really has. So now if you weren't aware, a bit after movie 2 dropped, we had a little bit of rumours about a combat sneak dropping which never came out. However, something else did release quite a while after, and that was a open testing trailer. So this covered a bunch of stuff. This covered not only just the stuff about testing, but I also covered some stuff with new combat. We've got new looking combat. Everything is getting revamped basically. Practically everything has been revamped. The game looks much more polished now. I like the way the combat looks. We've got a new clashing mechanic which looks really nice. But this was not the major thing from the trailer. The major thing that was being announced was that open testing is now a thing. So testing isn't just limited to certain people like it was before. Because I don't know if you remember my older video or if you remember from before this trailer came out. Testing was reserved to certain people who had already passed the applications months ago. I'm talking almost a year ago, maybe even a year ago, I can't remember. But it was quite a while ago. So the way in which this has changed is that silver and gold supporters in the Discord will be able to enter applications to take part in the testing. Which, I know it technically isn't, it really isn't technically closed, I mean open testing. This is still technically closed. But it's just a bit more open than it was before. And now before you get excited thinking that you're going to be able to play the game super early, bear in mind that you will not be playing like a full version of the game. You'll be placed onto a base plate if you do get into the testing, where you'll be given the bare minimum stuff such as swords, a dagger and a heavy, you know, like the starting weapons that you get in the game. And your main job will just be finding bugs, seeing how things work, you're getting a decent understanding of the combat so that you can report back and give feedback. This is not a way of playing the game in early access. They want people who are going to take this serious. And I think a good representation of how this is going to look and turn out will be in the final sneak on the RELL Games YouTube channel. You get to see them on a base plate of them just using a few abilities, using a few fruits. And I think that's like the most you'll get out of testing, like for gameplay wise. Which is pretty good. If you ask me, because this is just going to let them understand on what they need to fix. Going to help them find bugs, help balancing. By the way, I'm on the balancing team now. So that's a thing. But yeah, it's mostly going to be done. It's mostly going to be done as a way to just improve the game before release. Also, just to delve a bit deeper into how testing is going to work, we got an announcement from RELL Aiden not too long after the trailer, and he was stating how things are going to work. I'll put it up how it's going to work on screen. I'll put his message up. But as a TLDR, basically, you're going to get put into the game with base play. Only a few people are going to be able to test. You're going to get put in with very basic stuff. Your dagger, spear, flintlock, katana. Some basic combat stuff. And after that, that's going to be the first phase. And they're going to want to hear report backs from stuff about bugs. What's balanced, what's not balanced. All the basic stuff. You're also tasked with learning basic combat mechanics in the game. And then once all of that is done, which is phase 1, phase 2 will occur, which moves on to the more enticing bit, the more interesting bit, which is fruits. So now with the fruit testing, not everyone is going to get to use every fruit. It's being stated that it's going to be done in a grouping phase, so only certain people will get to use certain fruits. And yeah, I feel like this is a really good idea. I think it is a good idea because this is going to speed up the process a lot. I feel, instead of people getting to pick their fruit and it being fussy, because if you have a game where, say, like, I don't know, like the barrier fruit and then the dragon fruit is the game, you're going to get more people trying to go for dragon than barrier fruit. And I feel like with a group testing phase, it's going to go out much faster because not everyone's going to be fussy over what they want. But with that being said, the current fruits that will be open for testing, or the current fruits that I've done, are Flame, Ice, Love, Light, Barrier, Sand, Smoke, Bison, Allosaurus, Gravity, Chop, Paw, and Soul. And I'm not gonna lie, the one fruit from that list that actually gets me really excited is a Chop fruit, because never have I ever seen a Roblox One Piece game, or a One Piece game in general, where the Chop fruit is done well. Like in GPO, probably the second biggest One Piece game on Roblox, the Chop fruit isn't even usable. The only other game I can think of is like Blox Fruits, and Blox Fruits is Blox Fruits. Blox Fruits is shit. So now the final thing that actually came from this trailer was the RELL brothers talking about how testing is going to work a bit more. It's basically just everything that I covered, and then they say something that dropped a lot of people into worry, and it was the fact that the game can get delayed, which I saw coming. I think it's obvious that the game is going to get delayed now, because the game was expected for December. We're in November now. We're halfway through November, and we're not even starting open testing yet. You also need to bear in mind that we still need to do open testing, early access, and CC/OC, which has actually changed. So yeah, the game's practically going to get delayed for sure. There has actually been staff word on this since the trailer came out, and Alright said how the game was actually on track to release in December and it was still doable. However, they'd rather polish everything out and release the product all in one in a good way, rather than release it unfinished and rushed in December. Which honestly I'm glad with. I'm completely fine with that. I would rather them take a long time with this game and release it completely rushed, because that's what most games do nowadays. They release an unfinished game and then the game's shit for a while. I really don't want that to happen with RLCs. And so as for when the game is actually going to release, we still haven't got a confirm on whether the game is getting delayed, which I think is obvious that it is now. But I think we can make an estimated guess of when it is coming out. And my guess is February. I think February is the earliest it will come out. Maybe late January actually. Late January seems possible. But that's only if open testing begins very soon. As of now, of me recording this video, it still hasn't begun. I doubt that's going to change. It's what day is it right now? It's the 14th of November. Yeah, testing has to begin soon. We're halfway through November. And if the game does release in February, then that gives them like a decent amount of November, a decent amount of December to get testing done, to get early access done, to get CC/open community. Once again, I'm saying open community because that has changed as well. But I'll be getting towards that in a bit. Actually, since I keep talking about it, I might as well get to it now. CC isn't happening anymore. CC is not happening. It technically is. It technically is still happening. It's just that the way it happens is different. It's just basically open now. It's more open. You still have to be a silver and gold supporter to get into it. But if you are one of those, you don't have to do an application. There's no application now. You can just get in. So once that begins, if you're a silver and gold supporter, have fun in open community. You might even catch me in there. But yeah, that's the main change that happened to it. There's not really much more to go over that. But yeah, that practically concludes everything that you need to know about RLCs since like movie 2. You're practically all caught up now. There's like a few minor details here and there that you can find out by going to the Discord. They're not really that important, but I still would recommend being with Discord. It is a pretty important place to be in. I'll have it linked in the description. I also have my own Discord linked in the description. I have my Twitch. Go check me out there. I'm live sometimes. I'm gonna get to the streaming. I'm gonna get back to streaming. I need to get back to my stuff. I'm gonna get back to recording, making videos, which I'm doing right now. But yeah, man, that's practically it. I appreciate everyone who came through and watched the video, watched all the way to here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.